Hello and welcome to the presentation. The video presentation will be based on the pathology of the building that will be selected for this PowerPoint. The presentation will be based on the residential house Class A. The property's address is 29 Quakers Hill Parkway, Quakers Hill, New South Wales 2763. This is a brick veneer property built in 1975 with a floor size of 95 meters square and a land size of 753 meters square. Construction defects refer to issues of flaws that arise in a building or structure as a result of design or construction errors, omission, or deficiencies. These defects can range from minor cosmetics issues to more significant structural problems that comprises the safety and habitability of the building. The failure that occurred in this property is a structural vertical defects. Structural issues such as cracks in the walls, uneven settling, or inadequate support for weight-bearing elements occurred in this building. Structural failure is manifested in various ways depending on the types and location of the failure. Cracks on the walls are a cause of structural failure as a reason from separation of building components due to rainwater infiltrating the foundation and uneven floors that is a result of not having proper draining system. Separation of building components. Separation of building components such as walls, floors, or roofs is a sign of structural failure. This can be caused by inadequate connection, overloading, or damage to the structure. Uneven floors. Uneven floors can be a sign of structural failure, especially if the floors are sloping or have dips. This can be caused by settling of the foundation or damage to the structure. The results of these failures can be caused by the poor construction of the property with inadequate or incorrect materials, insufficient trained or experienced labor, or non-compliance with building codes and regulations. This can also lead to the structural defects. Appropriate investigation techniques are important when investigating the cracks in this property. A few techniques were used and monitored with a limited amount of time to see the drastic results. Some techniques used are visual inspection, crack monitoring, structural analysis. A visual inspection was the first step in investigating cracks in the house. This involved visually inspecting the cracks to determine their location, shape, size, and orientation. As inspector, signs of movement or displacement around the cracks was observed throughout the time. Crack monitoring involved measuring and monitoring the width and length of the cracks over time to determine if they're stable or getting worse. This technique was done using a crack gauge or digital measuring device shown in the video or in the photos below. Structural analysis involved assessing the structural integrity of the house to determine if there are any underlying issues that may be causing the cracks. This technique involved examining the foundation, load-bearing walls, and other structural elements of the house, as this technique helped determine the cause of the defects. The data taken from the defects of the property is as a result of cracks appearing on the wall, which could have a huge negative effect on the structural integrity of the property. A few vertical cracks as well as a massive crack on the floor area shown on the gauge measurement. Below is a few collected data taken on the site or on the property as well. Potential causes of defects failure are due to a few factors. Possible causes are either the settlement of the foundation and poor construction. These causes have been brought to light due to the heavy rains over the years that has caused the structure to show cracks. The heavy rains has managed to go under the foundation and soften the structure. Settlement occurred when the soil beneath the foundation of the house compressed or shifts, causing the foundation to sink or become uneven. This has resulted in cracks onto the walls, especially around the doors and floors. Poor construction. The wall was not constructed properly with inadequate or incorrect materials such as a lack of retaining walls, sufficient draining system, non-compliance with building codes and regulations. When analyzing the failure, facility manager, main contractor, subcontractor, and building surveyors are involved. The responsibility falls on the facility manager for maintaining and existing buildings or accepting and signing off on a new building. Whilst the surveyor's goal would be to resolve the issue as soon as possible to reduce delays in the building or completion process, if you've been asked to submit an inadequate report on the issues in order to resolve the conflict and fix the situation. When analyzing the failure as a surveyor, an analysis and risk association with the defects of the buildings has to be compiled. Cracks on the walls can indicate various types of damage and potential risks to the structure of a building. Here are some of the analysis and risks associated with the cracks on the wall found on the building. Structural integrity. The presence of cracks on the wall indicates that there's a problem with the structural integrity of the building. Water damage. Cracks on the wall could allow water to seep into the building, potentially causing damage to the wall itself. Pests. Cracks on the wall can provide a point of entry for pests such as rodents or insects, as well as aesthetics, which could be unsightly and reduce the value of the building. Fixing and preventing structural defects in a building is a complex process that requires a thorough understanding of the underlying causes of the defects. Here are some steps that were taken to address, prevent, and solve the problem. Identify the root cause. The roots caused are the uneven ground caused by heavy rains that did not drain properly. Implement repair solution. The solution is to ensure the draining system is fixed so that the rainwater would not infiltrate the foundation of the house and cause the house foundation to move. Perform regular inspection. Regular inspections when measuring the cracks after it has been filled with cement and then painted on does not show. Follow building codes and regulations. Ensuring the installation of rainwater pipes is to standard, as well as use quality materials and workmanship. Quality materials will cause the building to last longer. A potential issue would be the cost of rebuilding a face of the wall. This would be a major cost as a crack may be the symptoms of a larger structural issue. However, with the problem being identified, the retaining walls will be built and following with will be the draining pipes. Consequences of not fixing the defects or the roots of the defects will cause the house to buckle and collapse as a worst case scenario. However, it can also devalue the property and not make it sellable. Potential maintenance implication of the cracks in the wall is a severe safety hazard. Cracks can cause a safety hazard, particularly if they are large and unstable. They can potentially collapse, causing injury or damage to the property. These implications will raise the cost of the maintenance, as well as the goal would be to fix the cracks permanently. Sometimes the cost of fixing the property would make the owner consider demolishing the structure and building another one. Hence the reason why the cost prediction on the structure defects could be catastrophic. The cost repair would be 300 to 550 per meter square for reinforced concrete. 20 meters square is required, and therefore a total of 20,000 will be spent on average. With an average cost of 1,000 to 400 for a draining system, the location in which the draining pipe is required is not that big. So therefore, with a length of 35 meters, the draining water pipe comes to a total of 7,000. And overall, the system, the retaining wall and the draining pipe would cost 27,000. Overall, identifying and addressing structural defects is a critical component of building maintenance and safety. Regular inspection and maintenance can help identify issues before they become more serious, while proper repairs and remediation measures can help ensure the longevity and durability of the building. Thank you for your attention.